Hi everyone, my name is John Cottrell of Mosaic Yoga, and I'm at Public Coffee in downtown Salt Lake City, and they have generously offered their space for us to use to provide these online classes for you, and we've been so delighted to do so. So all of the Mosaic Yoga instructors, we've been teaching through Facebook Live to you, and starting next week, June 1st, Monday, June 1st, we're going to be offering in-person classes right here. So if you look in the description section of this video here, you can see the website that you can go to register for the classes that we're going to be offering next week. So we've spaced out, you can't see it just yet, but we have spaced out this very beautiful space so that we can properly have social distancing, so you're safe between each other. We're limiting the classes to just 10 students, plenty of space in here. So if you really want to come practice in person, because we would love to see you, be sure to log on to mosaicyogaslc.com, find the class you want to attend sometime next week, and come down and join us. We would love to have you. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you are just tuning in, again, my name is John, and this is Mosaic Yoga. I'm going to be teaching a Power Hour class. In our Power Hour class, we're going to be focusing on hip openers. I love hip openers, and so here's another hip opening class for you. Props. I've got a couple of blocks, and if you've got any props like this, a couple of blocks, one will do fine, or anything that might resemble blocks. Even a stack of books can help. I may or may not use these, but they can come in handy, even just for sitting, if you're going to be sitting at the end of the practice, or just using it to bring the floor a little bit closer to you in some of your poses. So have some blocks and any other yoga props that you want to use for your practice today. Alrighty. Hopefully you got a bottled water and you've got your props, you're ready to be on your mat. Let's go ahead and begin. So I invite you to stand in mountain pose, perhaps with your feet about hip distance apart, your toes pointing directly forward, just so we can establish alignment, connection, and awareness. I invite you to close your eyes or just soften your eyes, come to stillness. Take this opportunity to focus on your breathing. Just slow, steady breaths to begin. Allow yourself to settle into the space. Slow, deep breaths. And as you're getting reacquainted with your breath, you're welcome to take a nice full breath in and feel the breath rising to fill up your lungs. Very expansive up top. And as you exhale, draw your navel inward towards your spine. Just a nice connection to your center, establishing a sense of groundedness, connection, being here in the moment. Again, breathing in to feel the lengthening in your spine growing taller, with your breath rising to fill up your lungs. And your exhale to draw navel in towards spine. That's our abdominal lock. It can be light at this moment. Again, just making a good connection. Take 3 more slow, deep breaths as you now prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Reach all the way up. Take your time with this, but a nice stretch up high. Exhale, let's fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just carefully fold. Let the hands come down. Your head will drop naturally. And maybe a little curvature in the spine, knowing that you don't have to touch your toes in this posture. Maybe your hands are right here at your shins, like mine. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs and fully extend your spine. Even think of a turtle and just peeking its head out of its shell, just lengthening here. Then exhale, let's fold again. And even just put a little bit more bend in the knees if you decide you would like to fold a little deeper to touch your toes or your mat. Take a moment here and just release the shoulders. Big circles with your shoulders, roll them backward, roll them forward. Even a little shake of your head. We hold a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders.
And just let that all go. Since we're close to the ground, even imagining that tension just rolling off of your body right onto the ground as it rolls away. Go ahead and slide your hands back up to your knees or thighs. Use a nice inhale to help lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale back down. Now go ahead and lean back into your heels, bend your knees. Look forward to help extend spine. Take your arms out to the side. We're going to stand up, reaching into the air. Extended mountain pose. Big stretch here at the top. And exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Let's do that again, just a nice fluid motion here. Inhale, extend your arms into the sky. Exhale, let's fold forward. A good bend in the knees as you hinge through the hips and make your way down towards your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, full length of spine. Perhaps your torso is parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold again. Let's keep it moving. Lean back into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, swing your arms out and up, rising. Get even taller here at the top. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart space. Let's pause here, take a moment, find your breath. Very nice. Let's continue with our full sun salute. Moving at your own pace. Inhale, extend your arms into the air, reaching high. Exhale again, folding forward. Take your time, no rush at all as you move through your poses. Inhale, rise up halfway, a good length of spine. Now on this exhale, bend your knees enough so you can place your hands on your mat in front of you. Go ahead and step or walk both of your feet back into plank pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Good extension through the entire body. Feel this energy and strength here too. Press firmly into the ground with the hands, strong arms. Even feel like your forearms are squeezing in towards each other. Working down the body, long torso. A little lift of the hips, making sure you've got a good core connection. Even feel like your hamstrings and calves are lifting up into the air. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees a little to send your hips up into the sky and just guiding yourself into downward facing dog. Now you might need to adjust your feet by a little tiptoe forward, even adjust your hands. I like to take mine a little wider and just settle into your posture. Now you can just hold in stillness and focus on your breathing, but even feel free to maybe pedal the feet. Press one heel down as the other heel lifts with the intention of maybe lengthening down through the calf muscles, getting a stretch through your toes. Let the knees bend as much as they need to. You might even feel your hips shift side to side a little. Be sure you're breathing in and out. Maybe one more on each side. Come back to neutral. Full breath in. And as you exhale, take a big step or walk both feet, returning to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Keep the weight back into your heels. Bend your knees. Let's inhale to come back up to standing. Reaching high. Nice stretch here at the top. And exhale, hands down to your heart center. Very nice. Hold. Let's continue, just adding on. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, reaching high. Exhale, let's take chair pose, Utkatasana. Now you don't have to sit too deeply here. Just a little is fine. Still moving, breathing in. Exhale, let's dive out and down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, bring your hands to the mat. Let's step or walk both feet back into plank pose. Take a nice full breath in. On the exhale, maybe finish your push-up. You can come all the way down to your belly. Right here, long legs, pointed toes. Let's roll the shoulders away from the ground. Squeeze elbows and shoulder blades together towards center. And just barely lift your chest. Maybe for a low cobra or locust position. Once here, breathe in. Exhale, perhaps push back to hands and knees, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips up into the sky. Here's our downward facing. Make your adjustments, but we're going to keep this moving. Go ahead and inhale, extend your right leg up, reach back. Exhale, let's guide right foot to the top of the mat. Landing there, let's turn the left heel to the floor behind you. Let's be sure to shift the weight back so there's weight and pressure in that back foot. Finding some good balance here. Rise up to fingertips to extend spine. Inhale, let's float our way up, reaching into the sky, warrior one. Exhale, let's keep it moving, fold forward carefully, bringing your hands back down to the mat. Lift that back heel, press hands into the floor, slide the right foot back to match the other. Inhale, Exhale, let's come down, perhaps all the way down to belly again. Long legs, pointed toes. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze to center. A gentle lift, not too high. Inhale again. And your exhale, pushing back so you can guide yourself into downward facing dog. Right away, other side. Inhale, extend left leg up, straight as can be. Exhale, left foot now up to the top of your mat. Let's turn right heel to the floor, shifting weight back, settling in, good balance. Rise to fingertips to find extension through spine. Inhale, rising up, reaching into the air, still in motion. Exhale, let's fold carefully, bending to come back down. Plant your hands, lift that back heel. Slide left foot back. There's plank. Coming down, perhaps Chaturanga Dandasana this time. Inhale, up dog. Now you can always do cobra or locust. Then exhale, meeting together in downward facing dog. Let's pause. Take a breath. As you're able, breathing in. You're going to exhale, hop forward, cross your legs to take a seat, or just kneel down and then just find a seat on your mat. We're going to lie down on our backs and move into bridge pose. This is where blocks could come in handy, and I'll show you how you can use your blocks if you'd like to. So go ahead and lie down, sit in the center of your mat so you can lie down easily. We're going to lie down with the knees bent and feet flat on the floor. I like to step my feet a little wider. But we do want to be sure there's a nice alignment of knee right over heel or knee right over ankle bone for good leverage when we do eventually lift up into the sky. Let's start with a nice full breath in to fill up the lungs. Let's exhale, engaging belly, even feel low back press into the floor, then just float your hips up into the air. Now you don't have to go very high, and this is where you might want to use blocks if you want, or your prop. If you want to make this more of a supported bridge pose, just slide those blocks underneath you and just literally sit. And this makes this a little bit more relaxed if you'd like. I like to get the shoulders a little bit underneath. So I'm just rocking my upper body left and right a little, squeezing shoulder blades together. Now let's say you're not using those blocks. You have to kind of hold yourself up by pressing feet into the floor. Also bending elbows here and pressing your triceps down into the ground will help stabilize you and even lift you a little higher. Let's hold for a few more breaths. Remembering this pose, here we're just getting a nice opening through the front body, but we will be returning to this posture a little bit later in our practice to add on to it. Now, take a nice breath in and exhale, finishing. Let's go ahead and wiggle the toes forward a little bit, extend your arms straight up into the air, and go ahead and roll back down to the ground. Let's give ourselves a hug. Draw the knees into chest, and maybe a gentle rock forward and back. Take as many rocks as you need to, and as you exhale, rock your way up to seated so we can prepare for boat pose. Nice angled legs here, so a good bend of the knees. You might flex your feet. Let's sit up nice and tall. This is how I like to break this down. Hold on to the backs of your legs. Sit up as tall as can be, like you're in a straight back chair. Breathe in to get that length. Exhale, draw belly in to engage, and then lean back like you're in a lazy boy reclining chair. Keep the chin tipped up slightly so you have a nice long neck. You can stay just like this. You can even take the hands out. Now my feet are still on the floor, but you can lean back a little bit more and take the feet off the floor like so. Still holding on or hands free. Couple more breaths. Now you can breathe out through your mouth if you need to, which actually helps expelling the breath to help engage your center. Let's breathe in. And the exhale, crossing legs if you can, hands in front, stepping back into plank pose. Now you could just take a shortcut to down dog or complete your full series if you'd like, cobra or up dog. I'm taking up dog right here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's continue with more lunges. Inhale, extend your right leg up, reach. We're going to open this up, bend your knee, lifting the knee straight up into the air. See if you can feel the knee go straight up rather than maybe out to the side, but straight up, which really keeps the torso pretty long, but a slight rotation in the middle of the back, and it does open the hip. Breathe in. As you exhale, unwind. Let's step through up to the top of the mat, back to our warrior one. Find that balance on both feet, rising up. Here's our first warrior, and an exhale into our second warrior. Reaching here. Good, let's hold. Let's take our side angle pose, reaching out over the right thigh here, and then rotate your arms. Now, if you'd like, you can modify this even more by bending this right arm and even resting kind of lightly here. We're actually not putting too much weight on that leg. I like to call this paint the bench. So you're not putting too much weight here, it's just a slight rest, because you really want this to be a lifting feeling through this left arm. There you go. Let's take another breath in. And our exhale. Let's turn. Let's bring the hands down to the mat. Let's step back into plank pose, finishing your flow. Taking the shortcut to down dog is perfectly fine anytime. Downward facing. Then inhale, extend your left leg up into the air. Bend your knee. Now just feel the knee just lift up, right up towards the sky, which creates a natural rotation in the spine. You may not feel it much, but it is twisting there. And it does open the hip because you feel the left hip a little higher than the right side. Breathe in. Exhale, let's unwind it. Let's bring this left foot now up to the top of the mat. Right heel to the floor, shifting weight back for balance. Rising when you're ready, and inhale, reach into the sky. And our exhale to warrior two. Settling in, good energy in the body. And our side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms, stay as high as you'd like here. Or maybe going lower. Again, this might be a place where you want to use your blocks. Maybe you're much lower and the hands are closer to the floor, but not all the way on the floor. Just bring in those blocks. Nice extension of this right arm into the air. Let's breathe in. And our exhale to turn. Coming out of the pose, hands down to the mat. We're stepping back. Here's plank. And finishing, coming down. Here's our up dog or cobra. And downward facing. Hold for a moment in this inverted position. Breathe in. And your exhale, walk, step, or even hop. Both feet up to the top of the mat. Long spine here. Exhale, fold. Softness in your knees. So you can inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reaching high. And exhale. So actually bring the arms down by your side to finish. Right here. Well done. Okay. Good warm up. Just getting through some sun salutes there. Warming up the body. All right, now some balance work. Let's start with tree pose. I'm going to mirror you, okay, since I'm facing you. Let's go ahead and shift the weight over to the right foot, root down strongly into the floor. Inhale to grow taller and longer in the spine. Exhale, connect to center. Just feel really well established and strong. Float your left foot up into the air, flexing the foot. Keep the leg strong. We're just going to swing this out, just an opening of the hip. I do this on purpose because it is a hip opener. Being sure your hips are still square and you're facing forward, especially as that knee goes out to the side. If you notice your whole body starts to turn, then we've kind of missed the mark there because we're just trying to open up through the hip. So it doesn't have to point all the way to the left side. Just a little opening is fine. Okay, now let's place that foot on the inside of the standing leg. Inhale, let's sweep those arms out and up. Hold the posture. Maybe keep reaching up to get some good length and energy in the body. And your exhale, find that abdominal lock. Holding for balance. Perfectly fine if you start to wobble a little bit or even need to step out of the pose. A couple more breaths. Good. Keep the arms extended. Let's swing that left knee forward. Lift the knee with a flexed foot. Let's just plant that foot back down into the ground. We'll take the arms back down by your side. Feel free to even do a little shake right here. Roll those shoulders, a little movement of the head and neck, just to get out of that tension of the pose. Relax a little bit, take a breath, and then return to mountain pose and prepare for the other side. When you're ready, start shifting your weight now into your left foot. You might feel a little lean that direction. Press down firmly into the floor. Inhale for the lifting and lengthening of your spine. Your exhale to connect to center. When you're ready, only when you're ready, float the right foot up. Nice flex foot right there. Maybe your thigh is parallel to the ground. We're going to swing it open, being sure everything stays square. Perfectly fine if that knee is pointing out at an angle. Place the foot now on the inside of your standing leg. When you're ready, inhale, extend your arms into the sky. There you go, reaching up, good lift, lengthening through the sides of your body. Find something out in front of you if you can to focus on. Maybe an inanimate object that's not moving. Focus there. Breathe deeply. Let's continue. Keep the arms as they are. Let's swing that knee forward, lifting the knee with the flexed foot. Let's plant the foot back down into the ground. Sweep your arms back down by your side. Do the same thing here. Shake it all out. Let it all go. Release. Take a breath. All right, let's keep the body in motion. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Still moving at your own pace, even though we might be picking up the pace a little bit. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the mat. Step back. Here's plank pose, finishing your flow as you'd like. Here's an up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Quick adjustments, then keep it moving. Inhale, extend your right leg up. Reach, bend, twist open. Exhale, unwind, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor, shift back, balanced body, rising up. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, here's warrior two. Right into our side angle pose, reaching out, rotate the arms. Once you're here, we're still in motion. Reach to the floor and to the ceiling as you inhale. Same time, exhale, turn, hands back down to the mat. Step back, plank pose, complete the series. You can even take that shortcut, always okay to do that, right into down dog. Ready to go for the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Bend, twist open, lift the knee, open hip. Exhale, unwind, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the floor, shifting weight for balance. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Set it up. Side angle, reach out, rotate arms. Here we go, breathing in, extending and opening, nice expansion of the body. Exhale, turn, hands back down to the floor, back to our plank pose, finishing up. Up dog. And downward facing. Let's hold here for a moment. Let's get into another hip opening practice, another pose. Let's inhale, re-extend that right leg up into the air. Bend, twist open. As we exhale, unwind. We're going to bring this right knee to the floor behind the right wrist with an angled front leg. We're going to pigeon pose. So we've got that leg on the floor, angled leg. I'm just gently setting the left knee onto the mat, using the left knee and toes to shift the weight back once again to find balance. We want this to be the center of the pose. Center of gravity is right here at the hip bone, but it also settles you a little bit deeper into the hips. Now you decide how deep you'd like to go. Do tune into how this feels on your right knee. If you need to change the angle of that leg, change the angle. Or if you need to, you can flip over onto your back completely and do the reclining version of this and just cross your right ankle over left thigh. While we're here, if you're not down yet, but it's okay if you are down already, inhale, nice lengthening of torso. Exhale, just crawl forward, take your time. Maybe you pause here. Nice and angled upper body. Maybe you're coming down a little lower, elbows to the ground. Or maybe even lower still, where you bring your forehead to the ground. Now, if your hips are a little higher up than mine are at the moment, and you bring your head down, you might notice maybe a curve in the spine. That's fine. It really is. Or if you want to feel a bit more lengthening, here's another opportunity to use blocks or some other object like a block. Here, you might just want to rest your forehead on a stack of blocks, and that just keeps the neck a little bit more neutral, your whole spine a little bit more lengthened. If you don't have those props, you can use your hands. I like to make fists like this and just stack the fists and just rest the forehead on the fists, and that works just fine. Let's hold here for a few more breaths so we can really invite these sensations of release in the hips. And just pay attention to where you might be feeling this. Left side, that left hip flexor gets a nice lengthening sensation. That right leg, we have the right inner thigh, maybe a stretch in the inner leg. This also affects the outer hip and perhaps the glute. Let's take 3 more breaths. We're going to add on to this pose. Carefully come back up to your hands if you were down low. We're going to reposition the hands because they're out in front of us here. We want to reposition the hands even onto the fingertips right by your side, like so. Because you're going to push down into the floor to lift up like this. Now that really puts you into a significant back bend, but that's why we want to push it strongly into the ground to get a good lift so we can decompress in that low back. If you need to lean forward a little bit by bringing the hands forward in this pose, do that instead, okay? So it kind of resembles an upward facing dog, okay? But we've got that leg behind us when we're on the floor. Hold for a second more. Then release, carefully sit over onto your right side. And as you lean over there, bring the left foot around to the front. And let's come to cobbler's pose, right here. So for this posture, feet are together, knees bent and out to the side. You can hold on to the feet or maybe hold on to your ankles or shins. You're going to inhale, once again, find that good length in the spine. Exhale, if you'd like, start to hinge forward. As you hinge, you're obviously hinging from hips, but you're leading with your heart and chin as you come forward. You don't have to go too far. I'm not angled very far at all. Let me turn this way so you can actually see that. But I still feel that stretch and release in the inner thigh. We're not going to be here too long. A couple more breaths. Then go ahead and re-extend the spine by sitting up, but continue to lean back using that reclining chair again. And as you're leaning back, that's going to lessen the weight in the feet and legs. Bring the knees together. Maybe lift the feet, flex feet for active legs. Hold on to the legs. Here we are, boat pose. Take a couple of breaths, strong as can be. And let's move, breathing in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or even to the side, just to swing the legs back behind you. Plank pose, hold. Let's just take a shortcut to down dog together. Other side, setting up for pigeon. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend, twist open. As we exhale, bend, unwind and bring this left knee down behind the left wrist, angled leg. Choose the angle that works on this side. Now the weight is forward, as you can see. So we want to shift the weight back using the right knee and toes, crawling back, settling into the hips as low as you'd like, where it feels just fine. We're also shifting the center of gravity. Hold for a moment here as you settle in, making sure hips are nice and square. You're going to inhale and exhale, start to crawl forward. Now you can stay up pretty high. That might even take some of the pressure off this knee and even your ankle. So it's okay to stay up a little higher in this pose. Or just continue to slowly make your way downward. Remember to bring in those props or use your hands as props if you're bringing the head down closer to the ground. And just settle in. First, just be aware of your breathing. Nice deep breaths. And also notice these sensations that are beginning to arise in your body. A nice lengthening in that right leg behind you. Hopefully, maybe a release or a stretch quality in your left inner thigh, perhaps in the outer hip and glute. It's good to hold these postures, these styles of poses, for a good amount of time, at least 10 breaths, longer if you're able to. That way the body can really and truly respond and gain those benefits. 2 more breaths. Okay, we're going to move our way into that back bend version of pigeon. So let's rise back up onto the hands. Maybe here, if you're able, bring the hands by your side. Here, by your hip bone, on your fingertips. So as you press, you'll see the arms straighten. You lift up, get as high and tall as you can so we don't compress too much or even at all in that low back. Remember, you can always lean forward to get out of that low back compression if you have it. So this is just another version of pigeon pose, and it really gets into that right hip flexor. Let's breathe in, and the exhale, soften. Go ahead and sit off to the left side now. Swing the right leg around to the front. Same thing here. So cobbler's pose, just reposition yourself on your seat. Soles of the feet together, holding on. You're going to inhale to get length, that good lift. Exhale, hinge forward, leading with heart and chin going forward. And if you can, let's keep the spine as straight as possible. Now you could fold deeper, you can certainly round your back. This is just another version of this, just to be mindful of the extended spine, since we're not holding this pose too long. A couple more breaths. And when you're ready, just rising back up nice and tall in your seat. Start to lean back a little bit. There we go. Let's bring the knees together so the feet can just easily float up into the air. Flex your feet. Hold on to the backs of the legs. Get some good extension through your spine. Let's hold with a good exhale. Here's our boat pose. Let's move. Breathing in first. Exhale. Here we go. Fold legs. Hands in front. Hop or step back. Plank pose. Take a shortcut again. Bend the knees, hips into the air, downward facing. Your next exhale, walk, step, or even hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. Once you're there, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, soft knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way back up, reaching into the air. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Wonderfully done. All right, so we're getting into these hip openers. We've got that great pigeon pose, cobbler's pose. Let's do a standing version of this. Now, there are probably some names of this. They're not coming across my mind at the moment, but I just call this a cross-legged chair pose, okay, just to make it simple. All right, so it is some balancing. We do get a hip opener, and it kind of resembles that pigeon pose. So with me, go ahead and root over into your right foot. Lifting and lengthening through the spine, your exhale to connect. Let's float the left foot up. Flex the foot. Follow me. You're going to do a little soccer kick. There's a ball right here. It's going to kick the soccer ball. Now bend the right knee. You're going to cross this ankle over thigh. All right? So it's just there, just crossed. Here, bring hands to hips. And this, hopefully you'll notice that your hips are nicely aligned. That will help with balance. Now, perfectly fine to really stay just like this. Or, if you're able, just follow me. Keep bending the right knee. Send your hips back and heart comes forward a little bit to angle the upper half of the body, but maintaining a lengthened spine. You can do that again. Bend your right knee to go down. Send hips back, heart forward. Those little movements takes you a little deeper into the pose. Hands on hips again, just to be sure that the hips are aligned. That too helps with balance. Here's another thing we can do. You can take the arms out in front, maybe parallel to the floor, which might help with balance. As you reach forward dynamically, you might be able to send those hips back a bit more. Here's another thing. Bring the arms down. Brace them right against the shin. If you kind of press into the shin, you can extend your neck out, lengthening the spine. Again, that turtle coming out of its shell feeling. Notice the sensations. Because of the dynamic of pressing into the shin, lengthening through spine, I can feel all this outer left hip activate. Now, maybe sweep the arms out to the side, rise up as you get tall. Let's uncross our leg, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Bring the foot down to the floor. Let's sweep the arms out and back down by your side. Just as we did in that tree pose, shake it out. There we go, a nice release. Even your mouth, we hold a lot of tension in our jaw. So maybe a nice big yawn. All right, other side. So our cross-legged chair pose with those different arm positions. And again, just play with how deep you want to take that pose. Here we go. Start shifting weight into your left foot. Root down. Tall as can be through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, connect to center, ready for your balance. Float the right foot up, flex foot. Let's kick our soccer ball off to the side. Bend your left knee so it makes a little shelf so you can cross ankle over thigh. Placing hands on hips. Are they aligned? Now be aware, because what happens sometimes when we cross the leg like this, it puts more weight over there. And so we might drop and that hip is just flying out to the side. I'm uneven here. So just manipulate the body so you are even. Okay? Same thing here. To go a little deeper, bend the left knee, you'll go down. Send the hips back and heart forward at the same time, keeping a good spinal extension. This takes you a little deeper. Pause here if this feels just right. Hands on hips to ensure aligned hips.
Deeper if you'd like. Bend the left knee to go down. Send hips back to the back edge of your mat, heart forward. Stick your neck out. Hands can stay here. Maybe take the arms out front, like you're flying through the sky. Reach, extend, and maybe sitting back and down a little deeper. Hold there, or bring your straight arms down to shin. Brace, push, and feel like that turtle coming out of its shell to lengthen and extend. For me, that's when things fire up. Things are happening in a good way in my outer hip and glute. That may not be happening necessarily for you, but do be aware of where you have sensation. Now, this is a balancing pose, so be sure you're engaging your core. Navel pulls up towards spine. Okay, sweep the arms out to the side, rise up. Getting tall, uncross the leg, lift the knee with the flexed foot. Set the foot down. Next to the other, sweep your arms back out and down by your side. Perfectly done. Shake it out if you'd like. All right, let's get into some more flowing. We're going to put some of these pieces together. All right, just follow me. Do your best. Back to mountain pose, ready to go. Inhale, extend your arms into the air. Let's take chair pose. Exhale, sit back and down into the seat. Breathe in, reach out. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step or walk both feet back. Plank pose if you'd like. Come right down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or keep it low. And exhale, downward facing dog. Make your quick adjustments. Then inhale, extend right leg up into the air. Bend and twist open. As you exhale, unwind, send right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor, shifting weight back. Balanced, rising, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. This is just a good basic flow. Just a nice sun salutation. Reaching out, tip it over. Rotate the arms. Let's inhale, reach top to bottom. Exhale, turn, follow me. You're going to bring hands to the floor. Step back, down dog. This right leg will sweep back and up into the air as you return to downward facing. Bend and twist again. This exhale, unwind. We're going to pigeon. Right knee to the floor. Behind the wrist, angled leg. Left knee to the ground. Crawl back, find your center. Now, we're not going to go down like we did the first time. We're going to go immediately into the back bend version of this. Now, if you don't want to take that back bend version, just keep hands right where they are in front of you and just extend spine. Or bring hands by your side, propped up on fingertips. Push to lift here. Now, we're going to add something else if you want, just to make this more dynamic if you want to. Now, imagine you have to squeeze a block between your thighs. Now the legs are in an awkward position. So you have to imagine that you're holding on to something, squeezing towards center line. That's going to stabilize you because if you're able, and only if you're able, you're going to take the arms out and up, reaching into the air. Now if you're doing this and you're collapsing out of the pose, then you may want to bring the hands back down to the floor to support yourself. If your arms are still up, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. All of us together, let's sit off to the right side. Swing left leg around to the front, cobbler's pose. Let's take another version of this. Instead of the hands here on the feet, take the hands behind you. Spin your fingers back behind you. Okay? If you just push gently down into the floor, shoulders will pull back, heart opens. And actually your torso lifts a little bit, or actually a lot, and it helps open up the hips. It just kind of maximizes this hip opener. If it feels okay, you can even tip the chin up or even look up. I'll get a nice opening for the whole front body. All right, let's soften this up. Maybe bring the hands to the front so you can then lean back into our reclining chair. Knees together, lift feet, flexed feet. Boat pose. We're going to move right away out of it. Inhale. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Pause. Shortcut, down dog, bend the knees. Right leg again extends up into the air. Reach. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to a high lunge this time. Once landed, weight is forward. We need to shift the weight back. Easily able to rise to fingertips. Rise up. Here we are. High lunge.
Follow me and do your best. We're going into that cross-legged chair pose. First, bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to turn to face you and mirror you. Right here. Again, because of this lunge, you want to be aware if this hip is dropping off to the side. I'm certainly exaggerating this, but you don't want to be like this. This is certainly out of alignment. So just manipulate the body so we're square in the hips, just like this. All right, stay there. Now just start to hinge forward. Hands are still on hips, still a nicely extended spine, still that turtle coming out of its shell lengthening. Activate that left heel just to activate the legs so you stay balanced. Now, pushing through those back toes, shifting your weight forward into this right foot. If you need to step forward a little bit, that's fine. We're just getting the weight more into this right foot so you can actually just float that left leg into the air like this. Bend your knee like your heel is going to come in towards backside. Now bring this knee forward. It's a whole hip movement. Knee comes forward, the whole leg comes forward. I'm going to face you. We're going to do that soccer ball kick, cross, right there. Look, we're right in that pose. Hips stay square with that whole transition. Let's do the same thing. Maybe bring the arms out front, fly away. Good balance. As you reach, you might be able to sit and down a little deeper. Let's get into those hips. Stay there as I wobble, okay? Let's bring the arms down to shin if you want. Now, I know some of you are able to maybe come to that balancing pose where you bring your hands to the mat and balance on your hands. You're very welcome to do so. I'm going to stay right here. When you're ready, move when you're ready. If you're still in your handstand, that's okay. Move when you're ready. Take the arms out to the side, rising up. Let's uncross the leg. Reaching arms into the air, lifting the knee with the flexed foot. Place the foot back down onto the mat, hands together, and down to your heart. That's the first side. Let's get ready for the second side. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rising halfway. Exhale, hands to your mat. Let's step back into plank. Come right down if you can, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend left leg into the air, bend and twist open. Let's unwind with an exhale, stepping left foot to the top of the mat. This is our basic flow. Right heel to the floor. It's warrior one. Rising when you're ready. Reach up. Exhale, open, warrior two. Basic flow. Side angle. Rotate the arms. Good extension, top to bottom. Inhale. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Slide this left foot back, right up into the air. There it is. Bend and twist open again. Pigeon. Exhale, unwind. Left knee comes to the floor behind left wrist, angled leg. Right knee and toes, crawl back. Take your time. We're keeping the upper body lifted. Stay here if you'd like, or bring hands by your side, propped up on fingertips. Push into the floor to get more extension through the upper body, even at an angle. Stay here, or squeeze inner thighs towards each other. You can really sense this. Engage. Exhale, draw belly in, then maybe float arms up into the sky. Reach up. Breathe in. Exhale, hands back down and in front a little, soften it, sit off to the left side, swing right leg around to the front. Same thing, cobbler's pose, find your seat, hands behind you. Press into the floor to lift up, shoulders back, heart opening. You may feel those knees just naturally fall open. Tip the chin up, take a couple of breaths. All right, boat pose. Maybe bring the hands forward, then lean back. Knees together, lift feet. That way you can easily catch your knees here for boat. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank, stay in plank. Shortcut to down dog, bend knees, hips to sky. Inhale, extend left leg up, reach. Left foot to the top of the mat. It's our high lunge, shifting weight back. Find that balance. Right heel still lifted. Rise to fingertips, extended spine. Rise up. Here we go. Hold for a moment. Then bring hands to hips to ensure alignment in the hips. Hinge forward about 45 degrees. Here, lengthening through spine. Really activate that back leg. Pushing through the toes behind you, getting the weight forward. Now, if you're not getting enough weight forward, then just step this right foot forward a little bit more, and then keep the weight coming forward towards this knee. Just be mindful. That way your right leg can lift up with ease. Bend the knee, bring the heel towards backside. Here's that hip movement. Bring the knee forward. And then soccer kick the ball, cross ankle over thigh, hands still on hips. Stay where you are. Maybe arms out front. Reach, sit, get into the hips. Stay there, or bringing hands to shins, extend. Maybe you're going lower, which requires a rounded back, getting lower palms on the floor to balance. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, sweep the arms out, rise up, standing tall. We'll uncross the leg, lift the knee with the flexed foot, foot down to the floor, hands together, and down to your heart. Take a couple of breaths. All right, we're doing the sequence again. And yes, I'm adding something on to the pose. Here we go, or to that whole sequence. Go at your own pace. Yes, I am picking up the pace a little bit. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale for more length. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rising halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, plank pose. Come down when you're ready, chaturanga. You can always skip this too. Up dog or cobra. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. This is all the same. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend, twist open. Exhale, unwind, step to the top of the mat, warrior one. Left heel roots behind you, rising. This is our basic flow. Exhale, warrior two. Side angle, reach. Rotate the arms top to bottom. Inhale, reach top to bottom. Exhale, turn, hands on the floor, back to down dog. Right foot sweeps back and up into the air. Reach, bend, and twist. Exhale, pigeon, right knee to the floor. Knee behind the wrist, angled leg. Let's set it up. Crawl that left leg back. Stay at this angle or hands by your side, propped up on fingertips. Push, lift, open. Stay here or squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Engage your belly, reach up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Take a seat off to right side. Swing that left leg around to the front. Set up your seat. Cobbler's pose with the hands behind. Opening up. Now here's the new part. Alrighty, carefully bring the hands in front. Maybe just catch your knees. Bring your knees together. Round the spine, and if you can, just roll down onto your back. Knees can come in towards chest for a second, and then set the feet onto the floor. Hold. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Right there. This is a very simple pose. It can be. Crossing ankle over thigh. You're going to lift the left foot off the floor, drawing the legs towards yourself. This is eye of the needle pose or reclining pigeon. This right arm will thread the needle. Just go through the eye right there so you can hold on to shin on that left leg or hamstring, whatever feels right. Just a couple of breaths. Now this is a nice alternative to that pigeon pose. So if you ever needed to do that to get the weight and pressure off your knee or ankle, here's a nice posture. All right, this is just activating and mimicking some of the other poses we've already been doing in our sequence. All right, let's set the left foot down, uncross the leg, bring both knees to chest, carefully rock your way up to seated, and if you can, just right up into boat. Inhale. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose, stay here. Shortcut to down dog, bend your knees, hips into the sky. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reach. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Shifting the weight back for balance. Finding that center, rising up, here we go. Hands on hips. Hinge forward, 45 degrees. Angled and active body. Start shifting the weight forward towards right foot. Even step the left foot in a little bit, getting farther forward. Because we want to see if you can try this. Because as you keep going forward, that left foot with no effort just floats into the air. Bend the knee. Here comes that hip work. Bring that knee forward. Cross ankle over thigh. Take a seat. Hands can stay on hips or fly forward, sit back. or hands or arms to shins, extending through spine. Reach out and up, standing up. We're adding a pose here. Arms up into the air, uncross the leg, lift the knee, flexed foot. Swing the knee out to the side. We're going to do tree pose. Bring that foot to the inside of the standing leg. So we've added 2 poses in this sequence. Let's swing that left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Foot to the floor, hands to heart. Only for 1 breath because we've got to do the other side. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, chair pose. Breathe in. Exhale, dive out of the seat. Down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rising halfway. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step back into plank pose. Come on down. Up dog. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend, twist open. Exhale to unwind, step through, warrior 1. Back to our basic flow. Right heel shifts to the floor, extended spine, rising up, reach up. Exhale, open, warrior 2. Side angle, rotated arms, breathe in, reach top to bottom. Exhale, turn, return hands to the floor, back to down dog. Sweep the left foot back and up into the air, bend, twist open. Pigeon, exhale, unwind. Left knee lands lightly behind the wrist. All right. Crawl that right leg back, settling into the hips once again. Stay here or bring hands by your side, propped up on fingertips, press, lift. If you want, this can still be at an angle, squeeze to inner thighs, perhaps an inhale to reach up into the air. Exhale to bring them right back down. Lean forward a little bit to soften, sit off to the left side, swing that right leg around to the front, cobbler's pose. Adjust your seat, hands behind you. Open it up. Be sure to push down into the floor slightly so the torso gets long, opens up the hips. Releasing. Hands to knees here. Bring them together. Let the back round so you can carefully roll onto your back. Knees just come into chest for a second and then set feet onto the floor. It's like we're setting up for bridge. We're crossing left ankle over right thigh. We're lifting that right foot, drawing the legs in. Hold on. We have to thread the needle, so left arm threads right through the needle or the eye of the needle. Catch this right shin or hamstring. All these poses will have some similar qualities to them as we get those outer hips and inner thighs. All right, let's go ahead and set the right foot down onto the floor. Let's uncross the legs. Draw both knees to chest with an exhale. Rock your way up. See if you can just come right up into boat. It's okay if the feet need to touch ground. You need to adjust. No worries. Let's breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Pause. Soft knees, hips into the air, down dog. Inhale, extend left leg up into the air, straight line. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge, shifting the weight back, find balance. Lengthen spine, lift, float your way up. High lunge right here. Hands to hips. Hinge forward 45 degrees. Lengthening. Let's start shifting weight towards left foot. It's not enough weight for me, so I'm just going to step forward a little bit. Lean forward a bit more. And that way, there goes. My leg just wants to float easily up into the air. Bend the knee. Bring knee forward. That hip work. Kick the soccer ball. Cross ankle over thigh. Take the seat. Maybe arms out front. Reach. This is really a balancing act. Arms out front allows you perhaps to sit a little deeper. Or arms to shins. When you're ready, sweep the arms out to the side. Rise up. Get tall. Uncross the leg. Lift the knee with the flexed foot. Swing that knee out to the side there. So we can bring this foot to the inner leg. Tree pose. Keep arms as they are. Swing that knee forward. Lifting knee with the flexed foot. Bring the foot to the ground. Hands down to your heart. Very well done. Take a breath or two. Slowly go through a sequence. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Take your time. Good bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the mat. Maybe just walk or step the feet back into plank pose. Feel free to do one last chaturanga. And up dog or cobra. and downward facing dog. We're going to take a seat, so maybe exhale to hop forward, cross legs to take your seat, and just roll down onto your back. Bring knees to chest. Let's take the knees off to the left side. Extend your right arm to the right side. We'll take a moment for the twist, but also an opportunity just to catch your breath. A very engaging sequence, lots of movements and fluid motions, and all those great hip openers. Let's take the final moments here, returning to a baseline of breath, deep cleansing breaths. Stay on this side as long as you need to. Whenever you're ready to move, just take it slowly and bring the knees back up to center. Even pause there for a second, and then take your other side. Once again, notice your breath. Are you starting to breathe a little bit more deeply, slowly, intentionally? And again, staying here as long as you need to. And whenever you're ready, taking your time to return to center, we'll take the final minutes in Shavasana. So go ahead and extend your legs out front. Feel free to even stretch the arms behind you. Inhale. And exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Let the feet and your legs and hips relax. Feel your body just melt into the ground and settle into the space. Close your eyes if you'd like. Take all the time that you need in Shavasana or whatever restorative posture you're in at the moment. Whenever you're ready to move, start that movement with breath. Just breathe intentionally deep in and out, generating that energy throughout the body, as if you're just awakening your body from a nice restful nap. Allow the breath to move fully through your entire body, generating movement in your body. And when it's time, slowly, carefully roll onto either side of your body. Pause in that nurturing pose. It might resemble a fetal position. Hold there for a moment. Still moving as slowly as you can. With the breath, press yourself up to a seated position. Find a comfortable seat, maybe with crossed legs. I'm sitting propped up on a block, which you're welcome to do. You can even extend your legs if you need to. Your arms and hands can just rest comfortably in your lap or on your legs. And bring hands to heart center. On your own, take a nice full breath in, lengthening through the spine. Fill up your heart space. Exhale completely. Hold in stillness as you breathe gently. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste. I want to thank you so much for joining me here, Mosaic Yoga, in the new public coffee space generously donated to us to use for our online classes. And of course, again, next week, June 1st, Monday, we'll be offering in-person classes. Take a look at that description down at the bottom of the screen there. There's a place where you can actually go to my Venmo if you'd like to leave a donation. You can do that through my Venmo. But also check out that website. Write it down, MosaicYogaSLC.com. That allows you to register online for those in-person classes. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email. It's just MosaicYogaSLC@gmail.com. I think that's right. Alrighty? Or just give us a message through Facebook. Alrighty? Again, thank you so much. My name is John. I look so forward to seeing you here in person. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Namaste.